welcome to Australia, welcome to Australian Book Travels, and welcome to this week's book reviews. Or book recommendations, really, is probably a better term, isn't it? Not a book review, but a recommendation. Anyway, let's get on to it. I know I'm running late. I have been editing some video for you for this weekend, so I know I'm running late, but that's okay. All right, we'll get on to it now. We all know that I love my glasses, but anyway, there's three today, 3 murders. Comfy, cozy, good murders. Not the nasty type, but the good book, comfy, cozy type. Okay, the first one. Jessica Fellowes has written a series of the Mitford sisters, about the Mitford sisters, or not about, including the Mitford sisters as investigators. This is the first one, the Mitford murders. I hope you can see that. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Mitford sisters were real people in England in the 1930s. They were very well known and they were socialites and wealthy. There were 6 of them and quite controversial. They were stylish and they were, the socialites of the day. They were also controversial in their political views, ranging from communism and one of the sisters actually had associations with Hitler at the time, so they were quite controversial. Nevertheless, Jessica Fellowes has decided to write a fictional account of the sisters really being amateur detectives, or at least a couple of the sisters. One of them, Nancy, features heavily in this one. This is based in 1919, I think. It's been a little while since I've read it. Oh, here it is. I can give you the lowdown on the back. It's based in or set in 1919 in England. A young girl by the name of Louisa Cannon takes a job or a position in the Mitford family to be the sisters' governess and chaperone. So during the course of her tenure at in this position, the girls and Louisa go on a train ride, and a lady is murdered on the train. And from there we then get the girls investigating, amateurly, but they're investigating the murder. If you're going to equate this to anything, it really is reminiscent of The Blue Train by Agatha Christie. It's good, it's entertaining, it's fun, and there's a lot to it. Now, this was published in, I will tell you, it was published in the UK, in Great Britain, in 2017. And it is by Sphere, which is an imprint of the Little Brown Book Group in London. This is, let me have a look. I won't tell you any fibs. I'll get the lowdown here. Let's have a look. The 415 pages, and there is an historical note in the back as well. I really love the cover. These covers are lovely. There are a few more in the series that we will look at in the future, but this is the first. It's entertaining. It's good fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I recommend it. Good fun. So that's Jessica Fellowes, The Mitford Murders. Now, the next one is written in the 1950s. This is by Bernard J. Farmer, Death of a Bookseller. And this is the 100th edition or 100th book from the British Library Crime Classics. We have discussed this before. The British Crime Library have reignited the publishing of the Golden Age crime classics. A lot of them have not been really well known. Some of them have been or were well received and sold really well at the time, in the 30s, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, so forth, and even in the late 1800s. But not as well known as the likes of Agatha Christie, Dorothy L. Sayers, and so forth. So a lot of them they have been published. They were published in their time, whether that be the 20s right through to the 50s, and as I say, the 1800s, but not as well known. This one is about a Constable Wiggin who he becomes involved with a bookseller, and as a result of that, he becomes interested in buying rare books and reading more books. However, the bookseller is then found murdered, and Constable Wiggin is on the hunt for the killer. I really enjoyed it. There were a lot of characters, so you did have to be mindful of keeping track of those characters, and there were quite a few locations. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really well written and a really good book. And it also went into the whole atmosphere of, or the whole workings of secondhand booksellers and rare booksellers at the time. So let me see. This one was printed recently in 2022, but the original version was 1956, and that is by Bernard J. Farmer. There is a foreword by Martin Edwards, who he himself is a crime classic or crime novelist. I recommend it. I think you would enjoy it. Yeah, I really like it. I really enjoy these British Library crime classics because they showcase all of the old classic authors of crime fiction. I love them. They're really good. So this is it's being printed in gold, if you can see that, for the 100th publication. So absolutely beautiful. Available anywhere. This one I think I bought from Dymocks in Melbourne. I think the Mitford Murders I bought from the Book Grocer in Melbourne, but you can order them online anywhere. And look, the British crime classics, you don't get, I think I saw one secondhand, so you're not going to get them really readily secondhand. You will have to buy them new. The Mitford Murders and the series you may be able to get secondhand, but I haven't seen it, but you may be able to. But it's nicer, I think, to get new sometimes when you're reading a series like that and you want to keep them. Anyway, so that's those two. Now, this is a more contemporary writer, Charles Finch, The Fleet Street Murders. Now, these are based in the late 1800s, the mid to late 1800s, and the protagonist, or the amateur sleuth, is Charles Lennox. I really enjoyed these. Now, these are in a series, I think, I may be wrong, but there's about 6 in the series, and really well worth it. There's a lot of historical content, and Charles Finch really sets the scene of the location. I really enjoyed it. And there's a little bit of shenanigans that go on and sort of a love story, but not really. There's sort of a love interest is more appropriate, I think. I really enjoyed these. They're sort of, they're a lighter version of, a much lighter version of C.J. Sansom's series from the Tudor times. I don't know if any of you are aware of C.J. Sansom and his Matthew Shardlake series. Absolutely fantastic, and we will get onto those in another video. But it's sort of a more Victorian style of C.J. Sansom's. Really, really obviously well researched in terms of locations and styles and clothing and society and way of living. I really enjoy these. There are a few, as I say. I've only read a couple so far. But yeah, they're definitely a series that I would recommend. I think you would enjoy it. So now this one is 306 Yes, 306 pages, and this one was published. Let me get the facts for you. Well, it's saying here, I think 2009. So it's quite a decent age series. It's not really telling me the true story here, but I'd say it's just giving me a copyright of 2009. It's not actually telling me what the publication of this one, but I'm presuming it'll be 2009. I read this probably 4 years ago, but I really enjoyed them. So 3 really good murders, if you can, sorry about that, but if you can say that. Great series, a fun series, entertaining, and definitely, apologies everyone, one of the dogs decided to scoot around the lounge on the floorboards. So I thought it was best to stop, save the camera from any damage, and control the situation. Not that I have much control, but that's all right. Okay, so getting back to the real story, 3 great murders, and they are comfy cozy. I mean, there's nothing like a good comfy cozy murder. That's why these, the likes of Agatha Christie were so well known and applauded. It's the investigations. What I really like about any book really, but the murder mysteries and the more classic, the golden age crime classics, is that they give you also a sense of time and place and society and societal norms and expectations, and the language is very different in them, and they're all very polite and nice. So they're comfy, they're cozy. Anyway, and books that are written today in the same vein are the same. They're comfy and cozy without too much violence or too much bad language. So that's why I like them. So Charles Finch, the Fleet Street Murders, really good. Charles Lennox is the sleuth based in Victorian England. Really good. Really enjoyed it, and I recommend it. Jessica Fellowes, more contemporary, although it is set in the 1930s. I think this one, did I say that? No, 1919. See, I was just wanting to do that to keep you on your toes. So this one is 1919, and the sisters are from the 1930s. Or they're well known for their socialising in the 1930s. The Mitford Murders, with mainly the 5 sisters, but of course there were 6 sisters. I really enjoyed this, and there are more in the series to come. We will definitely be looking at those and recommending those. And then my favourites, the British Library Crime Classics. This one is by Bernard J. Farmer. It is, this is Death of a Bookseller. As I say, you have to be very careful of keeping track of the characters and the locations. And I don't think I told you how many pages this is. Did I? No. So let me see. 253. So not too bad. A decent read. So that's those. Really enjoyable. I really do recommend them. I think they're all... There are not many books so far that I have shown you on this channel that I don't recommend. A couple of them have been not as enjoyable, but I do try and tell you honestly what I think of the books. And of course it is a bit subjective because I may like them or not like them, and you may think very differently. So, but it just, I guess, showing them on the channel just tells you, it makes you aware of the books and what they're about, and whether they're in a series or a standalone, and whether I did enjoy them. Sometimes, you know, it is nice if you get a recommendation or a couple of recommendations and then you're inclined to read them and you make up your own mind, of course. But anyway, that's those three. Really enjoyed them. I will try and get this uploaded very quickly for you so that it's up today, which is Monday. And of course, Saturday, we will have our next travel video. I am really busy at the moment trying to edit that and get it up for you, uploaded for you. So I will leave you for now. As I always say, happy reading, and it doesn't matter what you read, just enjoy the read and do read. It's really important. It's important for all sorts of skills, for your literacy, for exploring the world. You know, you can sit in an armchair and travel anywhere, everywhere, and at any era at any time. I love it. It just takes me away. I escape in a book. It's wonderful. So happy reading, and always good food, good eating. Enjoy. Okay, until next time. Bye for now.